get ready with me as I get ready to go on a date. But before I get into the date, I want to talk about the eclipse energy that is happening right now in terms of my dating life. I went on a date on Thursday night with the man that I have referred to on this app as the tattooed musician with the big hands and a lot of red flags. And I'm going to tell you about that date because it was very eye-opening, and the eclipse energy today helped me to process what happened on that date and to make the requisite decisions going forward. So I had met this man on a dating app. I'm not on dating apps anymore, as I have told people on this app, but I was on them when I met these two guys. So one of the guys is the tattooed musician. I have a weird thing with musicians lately. I can't not attract musicians. It's really bizarre. It's new for me. I haven't always attracted musicians. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder Dream Skin Foundation, and I'm putting that atop the Wonder Glow Charlotte Tilbury Primer. I love both of these products. And this is definitely a date night primer. I was going to put this primer on, but this is more workday teacher primer. This right here is a date night primer. So one of the guys that I had met, tattooed, big-handed musician man, he and I had been talking. I had never met him, but I could already tell right out the gate kind of the type of guy he was, and I knew it when I heard his voice. He left me a voice message, and when I heard that man's voice and I heard the inflection, I could just tell that this was a man that was a rebel, that was a black sheep, that marches to the beat of his own drum. So my type. That is my type. So before I went on the date, I was a little worried because that has never panned out for me when I follow my type. I should have known right before the date started. I got an upset stomach. My stomach started hurting. I had never even met this man. So I just chalked it up to, oh, I'm just having like date jitters, although I don't even get date jitters. Like right now, I'm nothing but excited for this next date. So that definitely made me pause. And ladies, if you get a stomach ache before a date with a man that you've never met before, take pause with that, because that is often your intuition telling you ahead of time. It's God communicating to you. Praying and manifesting or like setting intentions is your way of communicating with God. But God giving you stomach aches and bodily signs that something is wrong or that there's danger ahead, that is God speaking to you. And I would also say dreams, which I had a dream about this man, and I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. That was crazy. But I went on the date, and halfway through the date, he said some things that made me pause. Let's just say that he understood the dynamics of a toxic relationship built on power and control. And that was a red flag to me, because if a man understands the dynamics of power and control, it's because he's probably done that himself. So that made me a little concerned. He walks me to my car. He kisses me against the car. I've been a celibate single woman out here for 6 months healing. And when that man kissed me against my car, I was like, shit. This is what happens. This is what happens. My body is telling me no, but everything else is telling me yes. I'm getting a stomach ache. I'm scared. I'm like, this man is so much like my ex. He's got the daddy issues. He plays the guitar, like all the things. But does my libido care? No. My libido is like, get it, sis. So I basically had to force that man, like push him away from me, because I knew I needed to leave. And then he kept following up with me over the last couple of days to get together again. Well, we all know what's going to happen if I get together with that man. And I will say, the night I came home from my date and fell asleep, I had a terrible dream about him. I had a dream about him, and I also had a dream about my ex. And they were both being abusive to me in the dream. And if you have listened to a lot of my TikToks about my last relationship, I had dreams constantly, bad dreams about him abusing me. Even though much of his behavior was covert abuse, I had dreams about him being overtly abusive. So that's another way God talks to you. God talks to you through dreams, and God talks to you through your body and how your body responds to certain people. And so as he kept calling me, leading up to today, leading up to the eclipse, I was kind of like weighing my options if I should see him. I had plans with him to see him last night on Friday night, and I was going to see him again after our date, and I ended up bailing on him. I ended up telling him last night that he couldn't come over because I knew what was going to happen. And as much as I desire him, I won't fall into that trap again. I saw a Mel Hamlet TikTok video where she said any woman is susceptible and any woman can fall prey to a psychologically manipulative man or a dangerous man, especially if they're having intimacy with him early, especially with intimacy. And I just know what my body does when I'm around a man like that. And I will fall into that trap again. That is exactly why I had an 11-month relationship with a toxic narcissist, because we were intimate way too soon and I got hooked, and I'm not going to do it again. I learned my lesson. So today during the eclipse, I had a surge of energy and a surge of bravery, and I sent him a text voice message and I just said, hey, like, I had a lovely time with you, but I just think we're looking for different things going forward. I wish you the best of luck. And then guess what I did? Blocked and deleted, because I don't need to hear anything he has to say. Not that he did anything wrong, but I have already made up my mind and I don't need to have a conversation with him, because all a conversation with him is going to do is he's going to try to convince me otherwise. Because a man like this looks at that as the ultimate challenge. And I don't need that in my life. I've already made my decision. And now I'm going to open up space for another man to walk in that is more suited to me, that I don't have a raging stomachache around before a date. So tonight I am going out with the second man. And can I just tell you how calm I feel in my body when I talk to this man? We've had a few conversations on the phone. He's called me. And it's been so nice to talk to him. I feel so at ease and so calm. He is planning the date and he is having me drive over to his house, and then he's driving us to the date so that I can be a passenger princess. And he told me to bring my Stanley, which I love. And I am so thrilled for this date because I feel really good around this man. And no matter what happens tonight, whether or not I like him or what, I'm just so relieved that I got rid of somebody that I know that I don't really want to pursue anything with. And now I have this open space to just really appreciate a man that I'm curious about, that I feel really, really good around. And I'm really looking forward to the date. So get ready with me. Let's do this. Okay, it's casual, so I think I'm going to go with this top. I don't know if I love these jeans. These are the Abercrombie. I think I'm going to try a different pair. Outfit is finalized. I think I'm going to go with like these little booties. And then look at this cute little cover up that I have to wear if it gets chilly. Okay. It's so fall. I love it. Okay, I'm off. I will be back to report. So I wanted to report on my date. I'm so tired because the date lasted very long into the night. We stayed up talking the majority of the night, and we went to dinner, and I felt so comfortable with this man. It was very uncanny. I'm definitely not used to that. We had such great conversation. We had moments where we just weren't talking, and this was a first date, and we both just kind of reflected that that was weird for us to just already feel so comfortable with each other. Then as we were crossing the street to go back to his car, after dinner, he kissed me on the corner at the light, and it was really sweet and felt really good. And then from that point on, the date just kind of took a turn, and we started to reflect on the energy that was present between us and just kind of acknowledge it. And we both are feeling really, really good and really, really positive in each other's presence. And that for us is a really good sign for both of us. And so we are going to continue dating. It's really weird. I did not at all expect that. I knew that I liked him because we had had some phone conversations over the week, but I just never expected to have that kind of an experience. And I'm really, really excited for what the future holds. So